Welcome back to WRPL. It's the podcast where we talk about all the things we were watching, reading, playing, and listening to. My name's Ben.
And I'm Steve.
Welcome back, Steve.
Thanks for having me, Ben. We're at your apartment.
Again, two in a row. One of our last, probably the last episode of the year. Got to get the big one out before we hit our best and worst of the year. Today's topic is Avatar Fire and Ash. We got a bunch of other stuff. We're going to try to keep this short and sweet. Let's start with a dice roll, a nice good old digital dice roll.
Let me click it.
Okay. So I will hit start. And then you just tap right there. 6!
Damn it!
You bitch, you stupid bitch. All right. And
3.
1 and a 2 and a... 12.
Oh, okay.
I'll take it. Well, I got stuff. I've seen some things. But we got to start with news, review, or news and deaths and trailers and all that stuff.
Let's do it.
There was a death, and I don't know if you saw this. It's James Ranson.
I did.
Yeah, the guy who played Eddie in It.
I know him as
46.
Ziggy, but
You know him as Ziggy from what?
The Wire, season 2.
Was he?
Yeah, he was the fuck up kid who kills like the Persian guy or whatever it was, and goes to jail at the end. And it's real sad.
Damn, I didn't even realize that.
Fucking Ziggy,
all these
man.
years.
Yeah. Talented actor.
I'm thinking it was like an overdose or a manic episode. There was something fishy. We don't have an official explanation just yet.
I'm not going to speculate.
Yeah, but that sucks. And then I was thinking, oh, damn, they wanted to make an It Chapter 3.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, well, he died in that second movie, so, I guess they could still make that movie.
I guess that's the upside.
That's the upside. So, yeah, a couple of trailers. There was the Avengers Doomsday trailer. I'm going to start with this one.
Yeah, I was going to start with this one, too.
It's not even a trailer.
It's a teaser for a character, or not even really a teaser. It's just an announcement of a character, really, because it's not
which
teasing.
We already knew from the whole line of chair announcements of all the actors that they did.
Oh, was he in one of the chairs?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't think he was.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if he was.
That'd be crazy if they have, James Marsden, but not Chris
Well,
Evans.
it could be one of those things where it's just like, well, we'll build hype later, or we're not sure if we got him yet. And then at the last minute, they're like, we'll give you $100 million. And they're like, okay, I'll show up.
I'll do it again. Yeah. And so when I'm watching Avatar, they're playing all these trailers. Then the roller coaster happens. And I'm like, what the fuck? Did they not put it on this? And no, it was like after the roller coaster. And I remember I saw like the first second online. And I was like, nope, not going to see this. I don't want anything spoiled for me. And then I watch it and I'm like, oh, I could have had this spoiled. This is nothing. This is just Steve with his baby.
Yeah. I mean, Steve Rogers is probably my favorite, or top 2-3 Marvel characters in the MCU.
Yeah.
And I love Chris Evans' performance as it. So it's like, it's cool that he's back, but I'm also like, I was totally fine if he never came back again as well. But, if you got Downey, you got everybody else, why not?
You got
to get the
Do you think this is going to be him getting hypnotized and now he's Captain Hydra? Is he going to be just regular old Captain America?
I'm sure. Well, if we're like hopping in between universes and dimensions, I could see him being it briefly, but we might just get multiple versions of like everybody.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Because we could have like him and Bucky and Red Guardian and U.S. Agent, all these kind of S.H.I.E.L.D. guys. Maybe they're passing the S.H.I.E.L.D. back and forth, they're catching it, and I don't know.
Oh, that'd be a fun video game combo. But yeah, in terms of just like an announcement trailer, whatever, who cares?
And then when it has the release date and like does the countdown and it's a year from now, oh my god, we're gonna have a whole ass Spider-Man movie, a Dune movie. There's so many things coming out next year that we will get before Doomsday. But we'll get another one and next week and one after that and one after that.
All right.
The other trailer I saw was Disclosure, Steven Spielberg.
Oh, yeah.
Good old Steven Spielberg's new joint.
He's a cousin of the Swedish Chef director
Yes,
that
I
like
believe so.
he
Yeah.
left the Muppets,
Uh-huh.
got in.
This is another alien one, Who's the king of aliens besides like James Cameron? It's Steven
Well,
Spielberg.
James Cameron's the king of one alien.
Well, Avatar and
Oh, that's
Aliens.
true.
Yeah.
Okay, two
So, yeah,
aliens.
but it's like
Spielberg is the alien
he is
guy.
the alien guy. Um after like I really enjoyed this at first because that sound effect of them talking,
Hmm.
ooh, was that creepy and it really gets under your skin. But then as the trailer went on, I was like, ugh, this is boring as fuck. This movie's gonna bomb hard. I don't think this is gonna be a hit.
I mean, I don't think it'll be, huge numbers. I think I need to see another trailer. I think it's a fine teaser because it really doesn't tell you
Yeah.
anything other than like the sounds that they can make inside of a human. And
Some car
yeah,
chases.
there's like it seems like a human can control another human
Yeah.
kind of thing. So we don't know what that's about. So it was a perfectly fine trailer in terms of just like it gives you the interest but tells you absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Versus some other trailers that come out lately and it's just like, well, that's the movie.
Here's the movie. Uh, were there any other trailers you saw, want to see, want to talk about?
Well, obviously the Odyssey trailer came out. Did you?
Sure. Yeah.
Which like, let me finish. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like to me, Nolan hasn't put out a bad movie yet. Um, and it's just funny to see like anytime a new image comes out, it's like, look at this big piece of shit. Can you believe it? It's like, just let the guy like let the movie come out.
Sure.
And the trailer, it's like doesn't really show you a lot. It's just,
No.
but I mean that's a lot.
People in boats, in armor, on
Honestly,
a
that's like a
horse.
lot of
Yeah.
Nolan trailers that was just like people staring off in the distance with like
Uh-huh.
ominous music playing in the background.
Yeah.
So his his like first trailers never really do much. It's the like that second or third trailer where you're like, damn, there's a lot of cool shit in that trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 2.5 minute long teaser.
Yeah.
I feel like, and just like here's all these famous people that are in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But and it doesn't like really show a lot of the fantastical elements to the Odyssey.
There's like one shot in the
Yeah,
cave, and
there's
it's like, ooh, that was creepy.
because the Iliad is, they've made Troy and all this stuff. Like that's a very like straightforward like war between two nations. And
Mm-hmm.
then Homer wrote this other book called the Odyssey, which is just like
The
a
crazy stuff.
crazy stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
of just like this super long, decades and decades long journey of this guy trying to get home while also running into like fantastical magical creatures and
Have
stuff.
you
And
read it?
uh, I think I've read a like shortened version. I own the book.
Mm-hmm. I think in school we read like a little bit.
Yeah. So like
Hey, you know the Cyclops? Here's the
I
Cyclops.
took a mythology class in high school and really awesome class. And I think that's where like I kind of read it, but I think it was like the shortened Cliff Notes version of
Mm-hmm.
it. So it's been so long, so I couldn't even tell you all the things that he does. But I, it's Nolan. It's a fantasy movie. I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's good, we'll see. But he hasn't really let us down. I mean, I know people weren't super huge on Tenet, but Tenet still has like a
No,
ton of
Tenet is
awesome shit.
fucking sweet. Anybody who doesn't like Tenet is like, oh, it's too weird. Yeah, who gives a shit? It's so dense, and it's one of those movies like, yeah, you shouldn't have to study to understand a movie, but just like Primer, that time travel movie, you kind of have to study to understand what's going on. That's how I feel about Tenet, and it only makes it better once you understand it more. I'm not a big fan of Dunkirk. That to me, that's just not my alley. I don't
Sure.
like really period pieces, and I don't really like war stuff. So I'm not super excited for this. And if it's like 4 hours, I could just it just feels like
Well, that's
it's
the
gonna
thing.
be
Like
one of
the
those
Odyssey is
big
such a
ones.
big fucking story that
Yeah.
it seems like impossible to really put
Hmm.
in. So my only thought is that this movie is going to just be like highlights of like
Hmm.
these major events. Like maybe he's like retelling a story, or there's some narrator. Zendaya's narrating the story. Who fucking
Hmm.
knows? And then it's just like, oh, here's him meeting a giant, or here's him meeting, whatever, or meeting the gods or whatever. And then all just kind of like really brief snippets of his adventure to get back home, or who's to say?
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Someone was listening to a podcast and they were talking about how like half the book, if you really read it, he's already home,
Yeah.
and it's him like talking to his wife and stuff, and like, oh, they'll probably cut out some of that. Not all of it, but like if that's half the book is just him fucking around at home, nobody cares about that shit. We want to see sirens and cyclopses and stuff. So maybe he can really condense it. Uh, but I don't know. Of all the movies coming out next year, I'm not super hype. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Any other trailers?
No, that's all I had.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna start. I finished a TV show. Just had its season finale last night. It's called Ha Ha You Clowns. It's on Adult Swim, and uh, Joe Joe Pera. Oh fuck! I should have wrote that down, but he hasn't done a whole lot. He's worked on other things, but this is his like first individual thing. It's an Adult Swim show. It's only 10-minute long episodes. You can get through it really quick. It looks like it should be a bunch of big muscle-headed assholes who are just going to be jerks the whole time, or it's going to be really vulgar. It had this weird vibe from the ads, and it's not that at all. It is about a man he's a weatherman. He lost his wife, and he's raising his three sons all by himself. They look exactly the same. They all look like super buff versions of the oldest son from Home Improvement, and
Okay.
like they look like triplets, but I guess they are like a year or a year and a half apart.
Mm-hmm.
It's Dustin, Tristan, and Preston. And
Nice.
they're just nice boys. They're just good-hearted, nice guys who are just they love each other. They love their dad. They're sad that their mom is dead, but they're just trying to make it the best. And there's just some weird, absurd things. Like they have this real life famous pool player who lives next door, and she's voicing herself, and she's just had like kind of a wild life in Hollywood where she tried to talk Wayne Brady out of doing not stand up improv because it
Okay.
was too much. And she's dating Sean Astin at one point, and I'm pretty sure it's Sean Astin doing his own voice. I'm not 100% on that, but some of the comedy from it is just these like weird looks they give to each other, and it's very absurd, but it's just a nice show.
All right.
It's
I
wholesome.
like a nice
it's
show.
it's great. Like I love Smiling Friends, and it's really funny, but that can sometimes get a little mean or a little gross or a little too crazy, and this is just nice boys. You could watch this with children in the room, and it uh would not offend them. And
All
I
right.
think you should watch it. The first episode is a little just kind of whatever. But once you get into the rhythm of it, like two, three, four, and five are excellent episodes.
All right. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. All right, Steve, what do you got?
I finished an audiobook, which I
Mm-hmm.
like partially told you about last week when I started it, but didn't really go too into it. I did the audio book of it, if I didn't say that, of Brandon Sanderson's A Wizard's Guide to Surviving Medieval England, I think it was called.
You told me about this off air.
Yes,
Yeah.
off air. This is a story of a man who wakes up in a field and is like wearing jeans, but like a tunic, and he doesn't remember his name or how he got there. And he's like, oh, maybe I'm some sort of like cosplay or something like that. So he's like, oh, okay, I know the word cosplayer, but that's weird that I know that, not my own name. And then he quickly finds out that he is actually in medieval England, but some things are like slightly off about it. And over time, he realizes that he he hasn't time traveled. He has this guide with him, and he's like reading through it. And actually, this book takes place in the future, where people can buy their own private dimension, and you can. It's like 2 degrees removed from our dimension, so it's like very similar, but can have like differences. So it's not like so close to our world that it's like
This king died instead of this king, and so
yeah. Like in this book, they worship like Woden instead of Odin. and things like that.
Okay.
And then he starts gaining his memories, and he thinks he's a cop, but maybe he's actually not a cop. And some of the memories that come back to him are kind of like misleading, and other things, you know, come to light. And there's actually someone else in this dimension who he knows and is actually, a leader of a mafia, and like what's he doing in this dimension, and what's his plans, and what's their connection. And he meets a girl that he like, and basically this guy is just kind of like an all around loser, and this is his chance to be a hero. And I don't think this book is all that like great, but I had a good time listening to it. It's kind of just a fun, like I could see the movie version of this. I think this book is kind of like more teen friendly. I don't even think there's any like real curse words in it or
No
hardcore.
effing and jeffing
I don't
around.
think so. It's just kind of this fun story of this guy pretending, like telling everybody. They call him an eelf, which is like a he's from like the Fey realm or whatever,
Okay.
and he's like, no, I'm a wizard, and because he has all these like nanites in his body because it's from the future, and it's like
Right.
so like he can get stabbed, but it'll heal really quickly, or he can do other things, which I won't get into, but basically he like has powers, and all these people are amazed by it. And it's just this fun little adventure, and I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I just,
We rank books differently than movies.
yeah, I don't want to give it like a C. Yeah, no, I'll give it a C plus if you want to do that way. Um, but it was only like 8 or 9 hour like audiobook, so it was really quick read. It had some like kind of funny bits in it, and like a just not a bad time.
This feels like it could be a really good series where different people, different worlds, different dimensions, and it's a great concept. Seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah. And what's another fun element of the book is like you might have questions like, well, how does this work in their world? And what's like, you might have questions. And after, every so often a chapter might end with a snippet from this guidebook that explains like how these dimensions work, and how what kind of different dimensions do they offer, and what you can do in this world and what you can't do in this world. Like it establishes the rules as the
Oh,
story goes along, and it's like a different narrator who's just basically an AI voice telling you like the rules of this world, and
okay.
it makes it answers like any questions you probably have, which is nice.
Did you ever read Hitchhiker's Guide?
No, but if I haven't read Hitchhiker's Guide, but without reading it, I would say it has that kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, because there are times where a character will be like, "Well, did you bring your towel?" And the person's like, "What are you talking about? Why do I need a towel?" And then it'll tell you a bit about the book, and like, "Well, you need a towel for da 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 da," all these things. So,
Yeah.
okay, that's cool. I also finished a book. I squeezed one last one in. It's called The Queen by Nick Cutter. I reviewed one of his books earlier this year with The Troop.
I was gonna say the truth was
Yeah,
not right.
very gross, great descriptive writer. This one is it's more bugs. That one was worms. This is more wasps and stuff. Uh it kind of fucking sucks.
Ooh.
Yeah, like anytime he got into the gross shit, it's really well written. Very good descriptions. I could really feel, smell, taste anything he's trying to say. But the bigger plot is kind of dumb.
Mm.
So there's like this girl, she wakes up, her friend's been missing for a month along with like three other boys from school. Everyone cares about them but not her friend because she's like poor white trash. And she gets a cell phone in the mail and it's like, hey, remember me? I'm your friend. I'm going to lead you on like a scavenger hunt to explain why I've been gone for this whole month. And here's a friend to take along with you. And then yada, yada, yada. A man had this crazy encounter with like trillions and trillions of ants that ate his sister alive.
Jesus.
Ate it like came out of the ground and ate their camp, ate the fibers off their tent. Anything that they could actually eat, they would. And he only survived by like first covering himself with gasoline,
Hmm.
and then slathering himself with petroleum jelly, and they couldn't get through that. But he has like bites all over him, lots of skin grafts. He got fucked up, but he's now a crazy person, and he loves the feeling of bugs crawling around. He has like a suitcase with a lot of different bugs that he'll like pop under his shirt just to like feel something. And he has made these crazy bug human hybrids, and sometimes they die early, sometimes they get kind of close and then die, and then the one
Like kind of like
successful
Jeff
one,
Goldblum, the Fly style, or like
like they look human, and then at a certain point they will kind of turn into more bug-like creatures.
okay,
So this one girl is her missing friend. She was a lab experiment, and she, as a baby, she was given to this woman in a trailer park, and then she's had this kind of, awakening is kind of like a sexual thing, and she kind of developed all of her bug powers, and she could like force you to do something with pheromones, and she's leading her friend on this goose chase to explain all of it, and it was like 13 Reasons Why, but then also this crazy sci-fi thing on it. It's like they did not mesh
mm,
well. Kind of stupid. But every time he starts talking about bugs eating people, and they would like sting you, and instantly like it'd be bubbling under your skin, and your head would pop off, or they'd be growing inside you, and like really horrific stuff. But all in all, shit book. Didn't
mm,
like it.
all right.
Yeah, skip that one.
All right, my next thing is I read a book, and it took me like 2.5 months, but I finally finished book one of The Wheel of Time, The Eye
Okay.
of the World. Now, usually I try and do a book a month, and so like this one was taking me a while because sometimes it was over 800 pages, so it was like kind of a monster. Usually I'm in the like 500 zone is
Mm-hmm.
where like I kind of max out typically. So there was that element. Uh, Plus, it was just like if I'm reading the same thing for too long, it's like, oh, God, now it feels like a chore. Like I just want to read other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't want to give it up. But by the end, I would say that I did enjoy this book. I think having the context of seeing the show first, I have a mental image of a lot of these
Mm-hmm.
characters, and so that's how I see them
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So that helps. And like when they go to the certain locations, okay, it's like, oh, I have an idea of like what that location looks like. And it's been a while since I've seen season one, but it's definitely like a bigger departure from the book than I anticipated. Because at least from reading it, I was like, I don't remember a lot of this stuff happening in
Mm-hmm.
the show. Um, and I think there was like more creatures that maybe we didn't see in the show that we do see in the book. Um, but like the first 200 pages, I'm not even sure if they've like left the two rivers yet.
Okay.
I could be wrong. It might be, in the more of the 100 area, but I was just like, man, we're like still here. Because I mean, chapter two, I think like the Trollocs show up. It's like, it jumps right into it pretty
Okay.
much. Uh, Maybe not chapter two, but it doesn't take long. But anyway, and then it's just like 600 pages of them just like going and going and like they break up in the like different groups. Perrin's story I think is the most interesting because he meets the wolf guy and like finds out he's like part wolfman or whatever, and they run into the traveling people whose names I forget, but they also run into the white cloaks. Like they're running into all these like different cultures that are like interesting, and so that's happening. And then Rand and Matt are just going like for 600 pages, like from tavern to tavern, just like trying to get to this place that they established 200 pages ago that they were going to go. And it's just like, well, we're going to this place. Oh man, this adventure sure is crazy. And then it's like, oh, well, we ran into this person who tries to kill us. Oh, and then let's go to the next town. Oh man, this sure is crazy. I hope we get to that place. Oh, another thing's trying to kill us. It's just like that over and over again.
Uh,
Um, Lan, super fucking cool in this book.
okay.
You really kind of like the show. The show kind of, I think, slow revealed some of Lan's stuff. Like you didn't
Hmm.
know Lan's backstory for a lot of it. Where like this
I
is
don't
just
remember
like
that character. Who's that?
Lan is from the show, the Asian guy who's the warder for
Oh,
Moraine.
okay. Okay.
Um, so he doesn't say much, but when he does, it's always like either some cool line or something of wisdom, and everyone's just like, "Do you guys know who that fucking is?" And they're like, "That's Lan." And it's like that's like the king of these fucking people, and if he ever comes back and says like time to rally the troops. Everyone will like rise to his thing. He's the king of the golden crane or whatever like that. And it's just like, and you find out that he is like the last of his line who was, you know, raised by like all these warriors and trained from like the second he could hold a sword and just all this cool stuff. And it's like, man, that would have been real neat to find out like kind of down the line. But like, he was a cool character.
They must have some really important stuff down the line if they could reveal this
Yeah.
so early.
But yeah, one of the episode I do remember is when they go to like that abandoned city called like I think it's Shadar Logath or something like that.
I
Some
can't
fantasy
remember a
name.
goddamn thing anybody said in that show.
I'm probably butchering these names, but where like Matt finds this cursed dagger, they run into like this weird creature in there. And so that was really cool. But I was like, I don't think they did that in the show. They kind of just like hung out and it was like, this place is really dangerous and scary. And then he just finds the dagger and then they just leave. But and then at the end, when they get to the Eye of the World in the show, it's just kind of like they got to this place, it looked freaky, and then they ran into the bad guy. Where this, they like run into the Green Man, who's essentially Swamp Thing. He's like this protector of nature, like kind of Tom Bombadil-esque, but not like as like dorky. He's just like a kind of like a tree vine person who's just like, I protect the eye and keep the shadow out and whatever. So like big differences, but also like the show I think did a good job of just like cutting some of that down. But anyway, so I had a good time. I will read the other ones. I hear 2 and 3 are actually the best ones. So I'm like, 1 is like all the setup and stuff and the world building. 2 and 3 is like the cool adventure. And then everything else after that is just work. So Wheel of Time, recommend, but only if you're like into classic fantasy stories. That if you like Tolkien, Robert Jordan's probably the next closest thing to him.
I heard so many things of, yeah, this series has 972 characters in it, and most of them you'll get a backstory and all this lore, and then they stop showing up after a couple of pages, and you never hear from them again. And it just gets a little repetitive of like, why do I need to know this about this dude if he's never going to be in the book again? So I think that's a series I'll never read.
Yeah, I would. It's a series I would never really necessarily recommend because like the idea of 14 books to me is insane, astronomical. Like I'm a trilogy guy, and that's pretty much where I max out. But because this is like one of the top 3 fantasy stories ever written of all time, yada yada. It's like it's nerd homework, but I kind of want to do it. I've been putting it off for a long time, and I did enjoy the show. I would, if the show's not coming back, I kind of want to see how it ends. So
I can't wait till you start getting into the future stuff, so you could explain that to me, or the past that is super high tech.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. Like I read a series, and I think it was like 11 books, 13 books. And it was like the Wizard's First Rule is the first book. Terry Goodkind. Yeah. Apparently a big piece of shit, but whatever. And like there were a couple of those books, and I went, "Where are we fucking going?" It's like it's the same bad guy in all of this. And I figured we'd kill this guy and move on to new things, but by the end of it, I was just like, "I'm glad I went through all of it."
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going through those again. Cool. All right. Well, I got one last thing.
I think that might be it for me. Let me double check. Yep, that's it for me.
Okay, well, I saw The Housemaid.
Oh, yeah.
Brendan Sklenar, Sydney Sweeney, and Amanda Seyfried. I kind of liked it.
Yeah? Awesome.
It's trash. It's a trashy movie.
Sure. But
it's elevated to a degree. Now, it's no Gone Girl. That's like the peak of elevated trash.
Sure.
It's like a Lifetime movie, that sort of like, the crazy housewife. If this was made on Lifetime for super cheap, you would like just totally roll your eyes, but you could see it happening. But it's in this middle, like it's directed by Paul Feig, which I didn't know.
Oh wow!
So Ghostbusters 2016.
Yeah, but I never saw a Simple Favor or whatever. Yes, but that's him too, so it makes sense that.
And it just from what I've seen, This feels a little higher than that. That feels a little more trashy than
Sure.
this. Um, and it is long. It's like 2 hours and 10 minutes. And as you're getting to the end, you're like, okay, now we've stopped, and now we can have Amanda Seyfried sit and tell us the reason why she's doing all this stuff. And then we stop, and we get Sydney Sweeney, and now she can tell us all her backstory stuff. And it's this big chunk of it that you kind of have to have, but in a
Oh, so is he like Tarantinoing it in this, or where it's just like it shows?
a little bit,
Oh, okay.
but not to that
Okay.
degree. It's more of like we can't organically work this in with just dialogue, so we just got to show you. Um, and but every scene was necessary, and even though you thought that was the end scene, nope, you got one more. Okay, that was necessary as well. But I kind of just had a good time. I think Amanda Seyfried is killing it in this. She's so good at being absolutely psycho and then turning it off and being sweet as pie.
Hmm.
Um, Sydney Sweeney is kind of dry, kind of boring. She doesn't really like ever since the couple of episodes of Euphoria where she's an absolute mess and she's
Hmm.
like puking in the pool and just obsessed with Jacob Elordi. Like she's never
Aren't
gonna
we all?
she's never gonna get better than that. She's so good in that show. And everything else has been kind of like, look how pretty I am, or
They
look at
said
my
she was great in
boobs.
that one HBO movie where it was like all from the
Echo Valley,
no.
Valley of Echoes. It's something like that. Yeah.
I think it's like a one word title where she's like being interviewed by the
Reality.
reality. That's what it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but because that's very much a we got to make her look ugly. We can't. We're not focusing on her boobs. She's an actress playing a real person, and so they could focus on this. Where this is, since it is that sort of trashy, pulpy thing, she has to look pretty at times, even if she's a little. She's the poor one, and Amanda Seyfried is the polished, rich one. I mean, she gets her nipples out in this, about 4 seconds worth over four different shots. Um, but she's just kind of boring,
Mm.
She's not. It's not the worst she's ever been, but she's kind of dull. But yeah, that was a good time.
So it
Twisty
was just
turn.
like, was it twisty? Did you see the twist coming? Was it just kind of like the
Okay,
twists
so
were stupid?
with this type of movie, it's okay. Amanda Seyfried is an actual crazy person. Sydney Sweeney is a con artist and she's trying to steal her man or her family, or Brennan Sklenar is a psychopath and he's playing everyone. It's like there's only three real main characters,
Hmm.
and there is something going on. So those could really be kind of the only options from how the trailer presents it, and it's kind of all three. So I mean, do you want to know?
You can tell me off air. I
Okay,
don't. You don't need
yeah.
to. But
Um, but had a good time. Wasn't upset that I watched it. Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Main topic.
Main topic.
Main topic. Fire, fire tard. Oh my god. Oh man, it's like 2 in the morning. All right, Avatar, Fire and Ash, Part 3 of James Cameron's big sweeping CG epic that he couldn't do for years, and I'm over it.
I
I
had a feeling when I got out of this movie, I was like, I don't think Ben's gonna like this movie very much at all.
Man, I this movie is way too similar to Way of Water in every way. It's we got to stop the humans from killing these whales. Now there's more whales in the same cove with the same tribes. Oh, now there's another tribe, and we're just doing the same movie again. It's a waste of potential. When the movie ended and the title card came up and it said Fire and Ash, I was like, why? Why is this called Fire and Ash? The Ash people? Unnecessary for this story to be told. You don't need them. I'm glad they're there because they're the only thing that I liked about this. Uh, I'm sick of Quaritch. He's just doing the same thing over and over again and then not dying so he could come back again. There's a couple of parts that I like that we'll go into, but man, this was not for me, bro.
I love this movie. No, I'm just kidding.
But
I, I got out of it and I kind of struggled with it because it's like I had heard some of the complaints where I was just like, it's Way of Water again. It's the
it
same,
is.
or even in like back to the first one. But like, I remember getting out of Way of Water and going like, yeah, it kind of has a similar story of just like the animals rising up at
Hmm.
the end and the whatever to defeat
But
the yeah,
but you had the
military cop.
family,
Yeah,
you
you added
know.
the family aspect to it, and I got really into those
Yeah.
characters. Like the first movie is very much the Jake Sully movie, and then the next movie, Way of Water, is Jake Sully's family movie.
Hmm.
And I really liked all those kids and their stories and their different personalities. And then we go into this one, and it's like, all right, so what's the new story here now? And I think that I like the idea of them like dealing with grief and tragedy, and Jake kind of blaming his other son for the death of
Hmm.
his eldest son. Natiri's like, I
Everyone.
hate humans
I
so
love
much that
Nateri so much. She's the best character.
she's like, I hate humans so much. This human child who we've all like grown to love, like his face makes me want to kill him
Yeah.
because he's just a remembrance of like all these people who have like ruined our lives.
God, I
And
love
like
that.
that's such like good stuff.
Hmm.
And whenever those like scenes come up, I think they work really well.
Hmm.
And I think obviously there's a lot of CG in this that just looks fantastic.
Sure.
And then, but there's some scenes that look like they came from a video game. It's so weird that
Okay.
like
Do
I
you know why?
well let me.
Okay.
So I remember going into Way of Water and going. It had been so long since I've been back to Pandora. I didn't rewatch the first
No.
one before I saw Way of Water because like I don't have another 3.5 hours to kill. And so for the first like 15 minutes, I was like, man, this looks really weird. And then after that, I was taken away and never thought about it again. I was like, man, that
Uh-huh.
movie looked great.
Yep.
And then every now and then I'm watching this movie and then it did like a shaky cam thing and it just looked cheaper or like it just looked like, oh, this is a video game cutscene. Like, why does
Yeah.
this look different than the rest of the movie?
Yeah.
So you tell me because you know something I don't.
Because this is high frame rate. This is
Okay, that's what I thought in the beginning.
when you see the brothers
Yeah,
flying around, I went, ew, what is
yeah.
this? It looks like you're watching it in 1.25 speed. It's just a little
Well,
fast.
the opening scene, I was like, is this high frame rate? Because this looks like it's too smooth and it's fucking me up.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, this is just like a dream sequence. I was like, okay. And then I kind of forgot about it,
Hmm.
and it didn't seem like it was for a while. And then it would jump into another random scene, and it's like, why is it high frame rate
It's
again?
the action. When they're sitting and just talking and looking at stuff, beautiful, gorgeous movie. Once they start flying around on those things,
Yeah, the
it
flying's.
looks
I
like
think the
shit.
flying's the tough part.
And it's weird to say like it looks like a video game because it's the best computer effects ever.
Of
And no
course,
video game looks like that.
but there's
But
video games that look really
really good.
great.
But just the way some of the camera movements and how smooth some of it was, like, yeah, this looks like a really, really good video game.
Yes,
And that
and
sucks.
yeah, because as I'm watching, it's like, damn, I kind of want to play this fucking movie. Like I know there is a Pandora game, but
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything good about it,
Yeah.
and I haven't looked
Which
into it.
sucks because it's like everybody wants to be a Navi.
Yeah,
And then it's,
and it just seems like take the mechanics of I don't know Tomb Raider and Uncharted and like those make that game, but set it in Pandora.
yeah,
It seems like it'd be easy money. But anyway, back to the story. So
I'm sick of Jake Sully. I think he's not much of a character anymore. He's so flip floppy on everything. Like, I gotta kill Spider. No, I love Spider. Oh, I'm pissed off at my son. I love my son. I can't be the guy who flies the dragon. No, I gotta be. It's just like he doesn't have any growth. It's just kind of. I'm gonna be the opposite of what we need now, and then I'm gonna learn a little thing, and then I'm gonna just be that thing. I'm bored with him.
yeah, I think the problem, like I'm okay kind of recycling the idea of the military industrial complex and their bad and colonization.
Hmm.
Like I'll see that story over and over again so long as you give me like new characters and a
Hmm.
new like theme or idea of the story, and not just like give me like their final battle if you told me they like just reused a lot of footage from The Way of Water, I'd go like, well, that makes sense because it was a big water battle. As that final action sequence was happening, while it looks fantastic, like there's this huge, like James Cameron knows how to direct a big epic battle sequence. It looked great, but I was watching. I was like, I'm checking my phone. I was like, this movie's almost over. Is this really how they're going to end it with the same exact battle as the last one? And then thank God that they did like the final fight in the like the floaty magnetic field on top of the rocks with like the fire tornado. I was like, okay, this is how you like do this one. So I was glad they included that because as I was watching the water battle, I was like, God damn it, this is the same fucking thing. That's so lame.
More whales. Oh, now we're in crab robots. Oh, now we have little squids. But like, there's not a leap where we're seeing a ton of new animals. When you watch the first Avatar and all those crazy panther monkey things, it's just like, wow, this is so cool. Then you get to Way of Water and you got the whales and like, this is interesting. What's going to be the fire monsters that we're going to see?
No fire monsters.
No. So like this movie really needed to be like, they defeated Quaritch. You know, he does some sort of thing. They fuck him up and he washes up on the shore of the Ash people. And they know he has guns or whatever, so they bring him in. You could kind of do all that stuff. I liked how he was integrated, but he needed to be like the anti Jake Sully, where he gets accepted into the tribe, but he turns them instead of the Na'vi turning him good. He should be turning them more bad. And so you have this opposite of what Jake.
Oh, so they're not bad at the start. They take him.
They can maybe be the bad guys of the land. Like, oh, nobody associates them, but he radicalizes them. And then if you're calling it Fire and Ash, their thing should be, we're obsessed with this volcano. We want to erupt it so it takes out all the other Na'vi because we hate Yahweh? No. Awa. You know, like, they needed their own thing, but it seemed like they were just content just dicking around in the ash. They didn't I didn't know what their belief system was, except your belief is bad.
Yeah. Well, I think this is why the Fire Na'vi are great. One, villain, whatever her name was, fucking cool. Hot as shit.
Oh my! They need to stop making me so attracted to these goddamn cat aliens. Like, you give me Natiri in the beginning, and she's beautiful, and then you give us the water people, and it's like, damn, they're making them even hotter. I don't like those forearms very much, but like, they're really hot. And then you give us this chick? Oh my God.
Like, I'm not even one of those dudes who like sees an animated character and really thinks much of it, but I just seeing this one, I'm like, damn, she is an attractive alien.
And it's like, of course, and of who it is. Like, she was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And she was one of the most beautiful people on that show.
And I saw a comment online that made me laugh where it's just like, the most realistic part about this movie is a dude falling for a goth baddie with a coke problem. And so I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But
I love, like, when Quaritch is walking onto the military base with them, he's got the biggest shit-eating grin on. Like, look at my chick. Like, he is so happy he bagged that chick.
Yeah, first, it's so funny that, like, somebody who hates, you know, as set up as like, oh, we got to kill all these people, all these Na'vi, they're whatever. Like, he's the ultimate villain. And it's like, but if they're going to fuck me, I'm going to fuck them back.
My pussy, you know, things change.
So I'm going to tell you what I think the big problem with this movie is, that I was starting to, and then I got sidetracked. And then I'm going to tell you my pitch for what I think this movie should have been. Okay. So I think, as I was saying, I can deal with the same sort of like story again.
Yeah.
But I think this movie has the middle movie problem. Because, like, as a third movie kind of thing, and, like, calling it Fire and Ash, like, oh, there's going to be this big, different, epic thing. And it is big and epic, but it's not all that different. Yeah. So it's kind of like a disappointment. And it just seems like this whole movie is just setting up things for 4 and 5 by, like, introducing this fire villain that doesn't die, by bringing Quaritch back.
Villains don't die in here. Only dumb grunts die.
Yeah. Having Quaritch, like, be defeated for the third time and not die, but setting him to come up. But the whole movie, they're kind of just like, hey, Quaritch, like, maybe you should be one of us. And he's like, you can tell he's, like, kind of struggling with it, but he's like, we've been enemies too long. I can't let it go. But it's like, now I've been fucking this baddie over here. Like,
Uh,
maybe there's something to this. It's like, open your eyes, man. So like, obviously it seems like Quaritch is gonna like go from rival to ally in the future, or at
I
least like
hope
I'll,
not.
and he's like building this connection with Spider that was set up in two,
Yeah.
but like doesn't really expand in this one. It
Except
just
just
kind of,
like, I'm your dad. You really need to like kind of
yeah, it's just kind of
respect that.
rehashing the stuff from, and I forgot that he was his son.
Yeah.
But anyway, uh, it just seems like it was setting things up and not, so there was no payoff in this movie really. It's just like, and another thing, it like I understand you want to raise stakes, but how many times like it's someone getting captured and then getting saved, and a different person getting captured and getting
Yeah.
saved? It's like they every character in this movie was taken by the bad guys at some point and then saved by
Mm-hmm.
the family, one of the members of the family at another point. It's just like, all right, well, it just seems so silly, and it's I understand it's a reason to kind of pace your movie and get more action sequences in there, because I was never bored in this
Mm-hmm.
movie. Despite how long it was. So I had no problem with like the pacing necessarily. It was just kind of like, oh, I've seen this scene 40 times out of these
Mm-hmm.
three movies now. Uh, but so here's my pitch for what I think this movie should have been. So we haven't talked about Sigourney Weaver's character in this, who is
I
like,
hate her so much. Her and Spider, I fucking hate those two.
no, well, I don't really care for Spider all that much, mainly because I don't think Spider's like actor. I don't want to say I don't
He's
like
a
shitting
bad
on the actor.
actor.
I don't like shitting on
He's the
actors,
worst out of all of
but
them.
he's the worst out of all. And I don't, and that's so weird to say in a movie where you're just like going against CGI people.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the actors are just more talented or the CGI is just he's not with these things.
Yeah.
So your brain's going like, okay, well, this thing isn't real and everything
Mm-hmm.
else is. I don't know. But I think everyone in this movie is fucking great, except for him. I don't think he's very, like, some of his line delivery just doesn't work for me.
Yeah. The scene when like before they're about Jake is gonna kill him, he's at the river and he's just talking to the dragon thing, like, oh yeah, drink first, then pee in it later. He's just having these conversations with no one. You can tell he recorded all this by himself. It's very it's shit.
But anyway, so well, I liked Sigourney Weaver's character. She's not like necessarily the fun character, but I think this movie really should have been her movie,
Mm-hmm.
because, and this whole movie should have been about like faith in the face of tragedy. They've lost their son at the end of Way of Water. The family is like torn apart. The son feels guilt. Jake feels guilt. Natiri is depressed by all means. You have the young one who like gets nothing to do except be like, help,
Help
help,
me!
yeah.
Help!
But like,
Don't leave me alone!
maybe have her as a member of the family kind of going like, I'm too young to feel like I can help, but I still recognize that there's this sadness in our house.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe she's trying to like make jokes or be happy, but it's just like she can't do it. So that's making her feel bad. Spider is obviously the outcast because he's part of this family, but he also feels like for like, that's the nice thing with Natiri is like, I wish he was dead because
Mm-hmm.
he's not one of us. And then Jake's going like, well, I'm not one of you
Yeah.
either. I just have this body, and like all that is
And so
very,
is our daughter is a weird clone of
and
another
yeah, our
person.
daughter's a weird clone, and also she can like connect with nature in a weird way that we don't understand. And then here's this tribe who's like, we want to burn everything, and because we don't believe in your god, and so this is the only pure thing in this world. That's a very interesting. They're the antithesis to this
Mm-hmm.
family, and maybe like they are willing to do sacrifices, and they, this leader of this villainous group is like, oh, I don't care if any of my people die. They're not my family. They are just a means to like destroy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, you
so
got a volcano and you're not doing
yeah,
sacrifices? Come on.
and you can have Quarch in there and be like the middleman, but like I think the military should have just taken a backseat. It's like we've faced two big
Yeah.
losses.
We're eating for
Yeah,
reinforcements,
you can
but
like cut to them and just like and show that they're rebuilding, kind of going like, we're gonna come back in the fourth movie.
mm-hmm.
And the Quaritch is just like the in between, who's just like, I'm not the villain of this one, but I am in the background.
Yeah. Like he should be abandoned by the military. Like he fails and he's with the Ash people and he's like, hey, can you pick me up? And they're like, fuck you, man. You tried so many times. We don't care about you anymore. And so now he feels a loss from the military side,
Yeah.
everything he's known, and maybe he's starting to embrace this other
Yeah,
culture,
like
even if they're the evil culture ones.
yeah, they take him in and he's like lying and it's like obviously they can tell by his five fingers that
Mm-hmm.
he's like not a pure Navi, but like they're caring people and they take him in and he's always has like that's where he builds his struggle and that's an interesting character arc for him,
Mm-hmm.
but really he's in the background. And so you
But you think he should be with like the water people?
I think he can like start out in like maybe not the water people but some other subsect because they also introduce like air
The air people,
nomads or
yeah.
whatever.
It's like I thought the regular Navi, they're the air ones because they
They ride
flew
they
the thing.
yeah, yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, and then we're gonna have Earth ones, and then they'll have their own.
I think people just think like they're trying to like push Last Airbender shit
Yeah,
into this because they're like somewhat
I'm
elemental in
fine
this.
with it.
And
Even with the name, it's fine.
but whatever, we're not gonna get into that. But so as I was saying, I think the main crux of this movie should have been like belief and faith and the power that has in the good and the bad and how these two tribes war at each other, and then the military's in the background, and then you defeat, if maybe not even defeat her, but like you still have the ending where she connects with God, which I did not expect to see, like a
Yeah,
giant Navi face,
yeah,
like
that was weird.
in the ethereal world or
Hmm.
whatever. But I was okay with it. Whatever. That's like we've established through lore and world building that these things with their little tentacle haircuts can connect with like
Yeah,
pretty much anything on this
that's
planet.
fine. It's
So
just giving it a face was kind of
I'm
weird.
okay with the idea that this planet has a personality.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. And can like call on all the creatures of the world. That's fine. I'm into it. But that should have been like the thing is just like I my daughter has shown you that like God is real,
Hmm.
and how does now that villain reconcile with that idea that like, oh, Awa is real? Do I join them or do I like go against it even harder because okay, now I know I have something to kill or whatever.
Hmm.
And so now in the fourth movie, that's when the Fire Tribe joins them because like, yeah, they proved God was real. Let's go fucking kill God. Maybe
Yeah,
that's a thing that they did.
yeah,
So that's what this movie should have been. And you could still have like the son like try and kill himself and because he's still like you can still have all that family element stuff, but just like get all this like extra military stuff out of there. Like the amount of screen time that fucking whale hunter guy got is
yeah.
insane. It's
Insane.
like you needed another human villain because you're not going to kill Quaritch and you can't kill the rich guy yet,
Yeah.
but we can kill this guy who's bad against animals.
Yeah. Wasn't he in the last one? And is that why he has the robot
Yeah,
arm?
yeah.
Okay.
Because I didn't remember him, but then as I was watching the movie, it kind of like came back
Yeah.
to me. Um, so it's like the amount of screen time that guy got is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Well,
And
you need to hate someone and kill someone, so you got to put them on screen enough.
yeah, so I think cut the military, make it about the family, make it about faith,
Yeah.
make it about the Fire Tribe. And then this movie could have been 2 hours. It could have been
Mm-hmm.
tighter and way more interesting, and you didn't need all this extra fluff. But that's my pitch, and less stuff with Spider. Like I'm okay with Spider, like not having the breathing
Sure.
apparatus and
Yeah.
stuff. Like that's a fun idea because that connects with like her abilities,
Mm-hmm.
and then the implications of where that will come later. Where like that's the teaser for the fourth movie. It's just like, oh wait, there's a human who can breathe air. Well, now
Now we're really going to ramp up
yeah,
and come
now we
after you.
really have to come back because now we can colonize this earth because we know
Yeah.
we can breathe here.
Uh-huh.
And so like that's like you've raised the stakes and tease something big for the next movie versus just like, oh, those two villains are going to come back.
Yeah.
And it's just like it seems like nothing's changed other than you've included a Fire Tribe, a new villain, but like nothing really happened with her. But man, was she hot?
God, man. Um, and like when they cut their tentacle hair, does that kill them? It seems like it was killing them.
I don't know. It seemed I couldn't tell if she like cut their hair and then slit their throat real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
See, should have been their thing. Is like we don't even connect to your god. That's why they're like so fallen from grace because they cut their own tentacles off, and maybe that's what kind of puts you over the edge. You either like join the tribe after that happens. You can't connect to anything, so this is the only thing you can do, or you
Yeah,
kill
but then
yourself.
how do you ride the big dragon thing?
It's like they do it out of brute force,
Yeah.
like they're not connecting to it.
we're,
You're gonna,
we're taming
yeah,
stallions.
exactly. They just need to be different because now she has the power to like connect to anybody and like, ooh, is she raping them in that thing? Because that's what like
No, I
the
think it's just like when you connect, it's like you're connecting on an emotional and like mental level, and it's just I'm overpowering you with my will. That's why like when she connected with Quaritch, she wasn't
hmm
able to like defeat him because
yeah.
her will and her belief is so strong that like she's that's what makes her the leader of this group. And he was like, "Nah, bitch, like
I'm
I've
from the
I've
military.
I fucking hate things too."
Yeah.
Um, I guess that was the idea. But I don't think cutting it off kills them. But because I think that one guy said like cutting it off is worse than death to
Yeah.
them. So I
And it's
think
like,
like they don't die, but it's if they have it, they'll just kill themselves.
and why couldn't we see some of that? You take one of the water tribe because one of them died of the boys. The water tribe has the two boys and the daughter, right? They're all siblings.
I don't know if they're all. Let's just say they're all
Let's just
siblings.
say,
The two boys, I believe, are definitely the children of the leader and his
yeah,
wife.
and then the woman definitely is because she's always like, "My daughter, stop that,
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
flirting with
Okay,
that."
so I think they're.
So let's say, just say they're all like, and one of them did die in like the most unceremonious, like gets shot, whatever. You get him captured by the fire tribe. They cut his thing off, and like, what does that do to you? Now you can't connect to your beast anymore. And if he does end up killing himself, that's fine. You were going to kill that character off anyways. And then you they killed off uh, Kate uh,
Kate Winslet's
Kate
character
Winslet character, which was really sad. Um, shit, I was going
because
somewhere
she
with
was
that.
pregnant and
Shit,
gave birth before she died, and
yeah, that was really.
now like I was gonna say like are they getting like another child if they say that they named their child after like their dead son or whatever, I was gonna be
hmm
like Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
but they didn't, which I was glad.
it's like,
But then I forgot like oh well the kid still has a dad.
yeah. Are we gonna jump forward in time? Because I think we need it. Like, it feels like we're supposed to be hyping up his family members because they're gonna take over the series, and Jake is dead, Natiri's dead, and now we just have the Sully
Jake will die
family.
and Tyrion will never die.
No, probably not. But see, I thought one of the scenes I really liked is when they did capture Jake and they were putting him on trial, kind of they were
Mm-hmm.
going to execute him. All the reporters like, yeah, we finally fucking got him. I kind of want to see it from their perspective. Like, he's a traitor. All we know is like Jake's a good guy and he's doing good things and the military's evil. But all those people think they're the good guys. And I would like to kind of almost see it from their perspective. And I truly thought they were going to execute him. And that would rally the tribe like, oh, you got rid of our Tarak
Yeah, yeah.
Noctu, whatever it's called. You killed our dude, and then they would go on the attack and fuck him up. And like, wow, that would have been crazy if they killed
Well,
Jake
see,
off.
I for half a second when because they're talking about the Turok
Noctu,
Noctu or
whatever.
whatever. And there's a scene where he like where Jake climbs into like the cave where the dragon
hmm
thing is, and for half a second I was like, wait, is his son gonna ride it? And it didn't click
Ah,
to me that like, oh no, that's Jake right there.
yeah.
Because it was like from his back.
hmm
And I was like, oh well yeah, so Jake will die in this, and then it's like, who will lead us now? And then the son who was the outcast
Yeah.
is like, here, look, I've rallied the whale people. I'll ride this dragon, I'll rally you. Like,
I'm the real chosen
yeah, yeah,
one. Yeah.
I am my father's son or whatever,
Yeah.
which may happen in the future.
Sure.
But yeah, I think a time jump would be good. Like now, Sigourney Weaver's character is now like a priestess,
Yeah.
and Jake's son is like one of the top warriors or
hmm
whatever. The littlest kid is a little bit older
She's
now.
doing stand up. She's doing her own thing.
She can do things,
Yeah.
whatever that is. Does she like go into the like she does she go into the science route? Does she go into the warrior route? Does she go into the
hmm
priestess route? Does she kind of like dabble in a little bit of both? Does she do
hmm
her own thing?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, maybe there's like the military has taken so many losses. Let's take a step back. Years have gone by. There's been like a kind of not a peace, but like a like we're all just kind of regrouping. We
hmm
know we're on the brink of war at any given moment, but like right now, everyone's just kind of like regrouping. So I think that would be nice. But I don't know.
I got some suggestions for the military. Stop attacking because your shit sucks. Your little crab things, they get taken out with a spear strike. They
Yep.
just poke it through the glass. They chuck like a rock into one of the planes, one of the propellers, and it's done. And then it crashes in it. Like everything they throw at these people fucking sucks. They can be taken down by sticks and stones.
Yeah. I was thinking that too in the final battle. Like, what like military benefit is like the propellers?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you guys had jets, which we have now,
Yeah.
100 or 200 years, whenever this,
They're doing space
I
travel.
forget what year this takes place in, um, and maybe it's just like a budget thing or like
Now they already
the
got the
jet fuel doesn't
style.
work in this. I don't remember if they ever expect. But it's like if you guys had jets, those dragon things can't keep up with jets,
Uh-huh.
and the jets we have now have like heat-seeking missiles
Uh-huh.
and bullets. They have all the things that like
I
they
think there
couldn't get.
is some sort of magnetic issue that they talked about in the first
Oh,
one.
that's right.
That
That's
like you
right.
have to use a certain thing. Like, okay, that's fine, but I don't know. Let's do some redesign so they don't just throw a piece of wood in and it takes you down in a second.
Yeah, I don't know, and whatever. At this point, like if I'm on this planet and like I have seen not once, not twice, but 3 times, like when we're about to defeat the blue people, the planet comes back and sends all these animals at us because the planet has, I assume, billions of creatures, and we only have like what 200,000 humans on this
Hmm.
thing. Like maybe we shouldn't stop fucking with the planet. Like we fucked with Earth, and Earth couldn't fight back because they don't have giant monsters here. We
Uh-huh.
killed them all.
Uh-huh.
If we did, they if we had dinosaurs, we might have been fucked. But it's not happening. So like maybe just kind of go like, hey guys, I'm kind of tired of getting eaten by squids and whales and dragon things. Like maybe we just like don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I think the military is pretty bad at being the military in these
Yeah.
movies.
And it's like I don't think it's even the military. It's a private company. Because remember, like
Well, they're still Marines. It's or you could say that they're
they're hired
hired
guns.
guns,
Yeah.
but they are like the military.
Yeah. The easiest way to describe them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
what's the Earth tribe? Are they going to be like brown? Because the air people are a little more purple. The ash people are more gray. So what are we going to get more taupey, more maroon
have
maybe?
have they actually established that it's like
I don't
there's
know if there's going
actual
to be
Earth
an Earth.
people?
But
Yeah,
why
let's
not? Like I would love if there was like yeah, there was some Navi. They went underground. They
there
found some
there has to be
caves
an underground
and they
society.
just like they touched to the center of Pandora. Oh yeah, you connect to your tree and your little reef and stuff. We are in the middle of it and like they don't need to ever go. So that maybe they're like super duper pale, but the ash ones are pale. So I think they should be kind of like a brownie muddy color.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that makes sense.
and then they could ride worms that tunnel through or whatever. I'm surprised the fire people, the ash people, didn't have their own specific type of flying thing. It just looked like their own dragons, but a little crazier.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wish they had something more fun.
Mm.
I don't know what, but
Or
something.
like, yeah, we might have to do battle with these things. We should know these creatures' names.
Yeah, there's too many gobbledygook names
But
in this
like
shit.
at one point, she should have been coming out and riding on like those like a weird fucking rhinoceros kind of thing, which I know they kind of had in the first one, but
Yeah,
just like some scary or like maybe a whatever the Navi version of a bear is. Like she's riding that,
sure.
maybe not necessarily into battle because
Yeah,
she's like, oh well, I need to fly in
they
order.
need to fly. What if like a Chinese dragon? Something long,
Yeah, something was like it doesn't even have wings. How does it fucking fly?
Who
Well, how do
cares?
these giant fucking rocks fly? Who
Yeah,
cares?
exactly. Like we got a big jellyfish thing. All right, two things I want to bring up. One thing that I really loved was when the Ash tribe attacks for the first time, and that one guy like holds up a sack, like, "Hey, hit me with your fire arrow,"
Witness
and
me.
he kamikazes into the thing. I was
Yeah,
like, that was pretty great.
that's pretty
I
sick.
like that. I'm surprised that he didn't see more of that. And I laughed. My theater was very full. I was the only one that laughed because I forgot the whales could talk to them.
Hmm.
So they're doing all this sign language and they're
I love
talking to
the
the
sound
whale.
design for the whales.
And then subtitles came up and it was just like, thanks, buddy, I'm up. And I laughed so hard because it felt like a comedy bit. Like, oh my God, these whales are talking. Anyhow.
Yeah. You know what drove me kind of crazy? It's not really that big of a deal, but uh the fire villain, she had these like really cool blades that she could do
Oh,
like
yeah.
fire dances with. It like made her look it part of like her sex appeal was like twirling these blades. It looked
Uh-huh.
so sinister, so badass, such like cool, like Kingdom Hearts fucking weapons. And she never really fucking
Yeah.
used them. And it drove me insane.
No.
She should have been cutting dudes down this entire fucking movie with these
Uh-huh.
things. Like the bow and arrow, that's Natiri's thing.
Yep.
These blades should have been her thing. And maybe it would have been silly. I'm not saying she would, but she flicked a switch, they became chains, and it's like, oh, that they're the Kratos blades or something. I'm not saying I want that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying like they looked cool. I wanted her to
Yeah.
use them.
Maybe it's like we don't get on animals to attack people. We are on the ground and we just move in and fight hand to hand. And her blades would look so fucking cool whipping through all these dudes, but no, she uses to cut off a couple of braids, but that's about it.
Yeah, there really should have been like a big knife fight with those two blades and
Yeah.
her and Natiri, and I don't know. I mean, obviously those two fought, and maybe we'll get that fight in the fourth or fifth one, however long this chick
Yeah.
lasts.
It's
But
it's like Natiri already has like she hates Spider, she hates the Water Tribe uh leader woman. You know,
mm,
she has beef with her. It's like Natiri's just a world class hater. She's my favorite character, and I wish she would like indulge in some of these things, but I, I don't like this movie. C plus,
uh,
and that's for special effects. But as I've said in the past, CGI is not impressive anymore. It looks great, and yes, you can say it's impressive, but it doesn't impress me anymore. Oh, you can do that now? We've seen you could do it? Okay, whatever. I don't care.
now tell a story.
Now tell me a good story. I mean, it sucks that you have to like go back and watch a Marvel movie and be like, "Ugh, look at this gray slop." But I'm not impressed by special effects that aren't practical. So, like I I give it the plus just because, yeah, I guess it looks nice when it isn't doing 140 million frames a second and it looks just like slick soap opera garbage. All in all, like definitely the worst one out of all of them. They better really fix their shit for this next one for me to care.
Yeah, I agree. It's the worst of the three, but I still like had a good time with it. Um, I'm kind of leaning. I'll go C plus too.
Okay.
I don't think it's that bad. I think it's completely watchable and a totally fine, good time. But I totally agree with anyone who's just like, I didn't like this movie. It's and all the reasons that we established why it wasn't good or like missed the mark. But I think there is a lot of good stuff in here that just kind of like doesn't quite hit the mark. So
It's like
C plus I think is fair.
these movies are made so you can walk into Best Buy and have look at their wall of TVs and go, "Eh, check out that Avatar movie. Looks pretty good, right? Nothing else you ever watch will ever look as good, but selling a TV. About it." And I want James Cameron to do something else. He hasn't had a non-Avatar, non-documentary movie since the late '90s. That's pathetic.
Is
You
that
made
true?
That's true. It's like
So
'97.
what happened between 97 and 2009 when Avatar came out?
Nothing.
You can do anything for like 12 years
Yep.
or 15, whatever. I can't do the math.
Yep.
Is that true?
Yeah. Look at his
Damn.
shit. Like you made Terminator. You've done. You made Aliens. You have all your movies are great. I mean, I haven't seen Piranha 2, but like True Lies is amazing.
We can let Piranha 2
Yeah,
slide.
that's fine. That's it's not a official James Cameron. It's just his first movie. Like, do something. Do something else besides Avatar. Go like I wish he would have stuck with the Battle Angel Alita. He wanted to make that forever, but he was so stuck on these goddamn movies that he had to pass it off to Robert Rodriguez. Ugh, whatever. Okay, so next week is probably nothing.
Well, he did create Dark Angel in 2000 and
Okay,
2002.
okay.
So.
Maybe he directed a few episodes of the Jessica Alba Fox smash hit Dark Angel.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. 1997 was Titanic, and then basically just credits for different Terminator projects
Yeah.
as like characters,
Uh huh.
and then Avatar. That's
Like
fucking
you
wild.
didn't follow up Titanic with just like something small, something simple. Nah.
I mean, he followed up a $2 billion movie with another $2 billion movie,
Sure, I get
but
it.
that's a crazy break.
Yeah.
12 years of nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, next week maybe nothing. Maybe we'll get together, talk Marty Supreme, squeeze in one last episode before the end of the year. Who knows?
We're wild boys over
Yeah,
here.
we'll figure something out. If not, then we'll be back on like, well, we'll record on the 4th. You probably won't get the episode till like the 7th. Um, do our end of the year bullshit, yeah. Best, worst, predictions, all that shiz. All right. Well, if you want to get in contact with us, we are at WRPLpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. As always, I'm Ben.
And I'm Steve.